Jay, why don't you start us off with talking about some horror video games that are on your favorites list?
Well, I would say definitely my first one I ever played horror. I guess Jason. I mean, Friday the 13th on Nintendo was probably like the first horror game, if you really consider that a horror game. But
God damn it, that was going to be on mine, you
oh,
son of a
sorry.
gun.
Well, that was the first one I said I played. Just the music alone used to scare me.
Yeah.
Going through the little cabins and Jason just pops up and stuff like that. I thought that was pretty classic back in the day. Um, the one after that would probably definitely be the original Resident Evil. Um, Definitely the scary part of that was definitely when the first scene when the door goes through the window. When it breaks through the glass, and
Makes you
then
jump, man.
yeah, that had to been probably the most classic for me horror games. Just because I think this even the still camera angles and stuff like that added to the kind of atmosphere because you don't know what's around the corner. The camera doesn't really just move, so they could put like a zombie in the corner, and then as you get closer, you know what I mean. I think that alone was pretty scary.
But no Nightmare on
Um,
Elm Street for NES.
oh my god, I don't. You know what? I don't think I really even played it that much.
I was about to say the
I
same
don't
thing. I'm
remember.
not sure if
Yeah,
I did either.
I mean I've seen videos of it and stuff like that, but
Yeah,
wasn't that a multiplayer game too? Like you could play
yeah,
multiple people.
four people, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't really get to play that much. I've seen people play it though. Um, I would say Dead Space is another good one. If anybody ever played it, Dead Space. They're actually thinking about doing a remake of Dead Space. Actually, this was a really good game. Silent Hills. I don't have I played the first Silent Hill. I love the first Silent Hill. I don't actually have it with me. I can't find it, but Silent Hill 2 was really good. That was a good one. I think Silent Hill 3 was probably the scariest of them all out of all the Silent Hills.
I don't think I really played any of those, actually.
Yeah, the first one was really good. I mean, I liked all three. I mean, the second one not as much as the first and the third, but they were pretty good. The most recent one I played, obviously, this is Resident Evil 7 was really good. I always tell
Wait,
people you
isn't
should
that
try that.
that's the
It's on
one with
PS4.
the tyrant following you, right? Or whatever he is, tyrant, right? He
Well,
follows
no,
you around the house.
no, that's actually Resident Evil 2. Well, not the
Yeah.
tyrant. He's not the tyrant in Resident Evil 2, but they have a couple of them. Resident Evil 3 had a parts of it where he would follow you around as well. But
Well, I
Wasn't
mean,
Resident Evil 3 the one the guy had? He was like in the jacket. He was a big guy running around, like out of nowhere, would blow through and come after you.
well, no, that was
What was
Resident
3?
Evil Resident Evil 2.
That was 2. Oh, I
Yeah,
thought it was 3.
in the police station, he would follow you. He would come around. Yeah, they did it really good in the remake too. The remake was really good.
oh,
Um,
that's what I'm thinking of, the remake. Huh?
yeah, that's probably the most recent footage you've seen was probably the remake of it. Yeah, yeah, that was really good. I mean, Resident Evil 8 that just came out was really good. There's so many. I mean, all the Resident Evils were good except for 6. 6 sucked. Um, Resident Evil 4 was good. I'm trying to think of some
Didn't-
really old school horror games other than Friday the 13th. You know, I think
Well, is
Friday.
Castlevania considered horror?
I guess you could consider it horror.
Why
I
not?
mean, yeah.
Right?
I mean, as a kid, you get to fight Dracula and all Frankenstein stuff. So yeah, why not?
Yeah, definitely. I would
Castlevania
say
is
that.
fun.
How about you,
Well,
James?
for me, honestly, I was gonna say Friday 13th and Resident Evil, so that went really well. Um, that's fine.
Well,
I mean,
what on
good
Friday the
games are good
13th?
games, you know.
What on Friday the 13th? What would really get you the most?
Well, pretty much what you said. You're going through all the cabins, and like the sound changes, and it's like,
Mhm.
oh, time to run. He's coming for me. Type
Just
deal.
that one sound that they used to make, the dun, when he pops up. It was like out of nowhere.
I'm on the same note with you. It's pretty much those two games hit me. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that was like really, really spooky.
Mhm.
What about you, Dave?
Yeah. I mean, Nightmare on Elm Street. It's pretty spooky to me. I mean, that movie series always bothered the hell out of me.
The movies were good, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, you know what, Castlevania, man, I consider that to be a fun horror game.
It's true.
Dealing with all those the horror characters and stuff. I mean, that game was hard as shit. In my
Definitely
opinion.
to me, Simon's Quest was definitely the scariest. I don't know why. It's something about Simon's Quest
That's
because
that's
it,
definitely more of a horror
yeah,
than the first one because of the night
right.
change and all that stuff. You know, you had the time of day change and
Mhm.
all.
The RPG
Um,
elements that it had and stuff like that.
yeah, there was a game that James had shown me a long time ago, back when we were in high school. He had it on Genesis.
Oh,
I
was it
got it
even
on
what
N64. That Nightmare Creatures. I thought
Nightmare Creatures?
that was a fun horror game.
I don't even know what game you're talking about, bro.
I know it was old, man. It was old.
But if I would have owned it, I'd know what you're talking about.
Uh, you had it because we played it downstairs on
Trying to,
Genesis.
Nightmare Creatures?
Yeah,
Damn.
that's what it's called.
what
Or maybe it
Is
was
systems?
that a,
PlayStation. Yeah, you know what? It might have been PlayStation. I think that you had it.
I don't care what it was. I don't even know what you're
Oh,
talking about. Hold
James,
on.
you know what's a good one? Blood Omen.
Creatures. Blood Omen. Oh, that's a really good one, actually.
Yeah, what was it? Uh, then they made the sequels for it. Remember Blood Omen, where you suck all the blood out of all the guys, you like fight them and
Yep.
stuff. That was on the
Legacy of Kain, right?
Legacy of Kain. That was it. Yeah.
So back to Dave real quick. I don't know what friends he's got, but it ain't me. I never played this game.
You played this game. I swear to God, it was at your
I'm
house.
looking at it right now. I never seen this shit in my life.
You played it. You had
It
it
does
down.
look creepy though. It does look creepy as hell.
You had it. You played it. That's the reason why I saw it. I knew about it and I bought it for the N64 because it was on N64 also.
Look, I know you're getting older, and things aren't grinding the way they used to. I'll pull out all my shit and prove that I don't have that.
Oh, just because you don't have it right now doesn't mean that you didn't have it back
Oh
then.
God, yes. I got to stop playing semantics with me.
What? But to add to that though, I would say also I think two other classics that I played on PC would be Shadow Man and what was Blood, Blood 1 and Blood 2.
That was a first-person shooter, right?
Yeah, that was first person shooter. I think Shadow Man was a third person view, if I remember correctly. But Blood was Blood 1 and Blood 2. Those were first person shooters. A lot of blood in that, obviously, from the name.
Yeah.
A lot of horror stuff, creatures,
cover-
monsters.
The cover of that game's got like the bloody hand. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Blood. I'm looking at pictures of that now too. That's another one I didn't play. That looks spooky.
But that was on I was on PC back in the day.
You know what I think? Like even just you know what it is, the old school, even the old school PC games before they got like really good with like the music and stuff like that. I think that's what made a lot of the games even more scary, just because it's like just the weird sound effects, the low budget sound effects and stuff like that always made it kind of, you know, like all that digital, that old school 8-bit music and stuff like that. That to me that kind of made some of the games scary just because of the way it sounds. You know what I mean?
You know what it
Yeah.
was? A lot of like some movies can do pretty good nowadays because they can get the sounds exactly they want. But that edgy bit music sometimes is
Mhm.
enough that it's just the way it sounds is actually better in a way.
Right.
I can't explain why, but it does pretty good, even though it sounds like lame in ways, but it was enough.
Like if
So,
you
Even the
took
graphics back then was good.
Yeah.
like if you took like new sound effects and new like music and put them in the old Friday the 13th game, it wouldn't feel the same. At least that's what I think. Like just like the, you know,
You know what it is? I think when you're building a game on like a say Nintendo 8-bit, 16-bit, whatever, all those things, systems, you're working so freaking hard to get it to look like what we've seen in a movie. And you know you're not going to get that, but you're doing really, really
Mhm.
hard work to get it there. So you're going for the look, the feel, the sound. Nowadays, they just put sound on it that sounds really good, and then they make some CGI that looks really clear, but they're not really going for grabbing it. That's why movies like, well, we'll talk about movies in a moment that are good and scary, but some movies do things differently on budgets and actually get a better feel for being scarier,
Mhm.
more than just looking scarier. So what I was going to say is maybe jumping up to it next, talking about movies, and I'll kick it off since you stole my games. Now,
I'm glad we think alike.
no, but Yeah, there it is. Nightmare Creatures. Once again, never played it, but you know, Dave swears up and down in his.
You definitely played it.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
played it.
Alzheimer's, maybe.
I gotta tell you, I've never even seen that game before. I'm trying to think,
Ah,
man.
I know. Played in someone's basement.
It was your basement. It was
My
right before
basement.
that. It was on a Saturday, and it was right before we went to. Oh no, it was a Friday. Before we went to that
Let me see something.
the
Let me see
Friday
it.
night thing at the high school. Remember, they used to have the basketball. You go there, play basketball,
Yeah. Friday.
drink soda, and fucking do
Spurg out.
whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, we had a lot of fun doing that. A lot of
Friday
basketball
night,
games.
whatever the hell it was called. I forget what it was
Yeah.
called.
Those were actually cool things that the school did. So everyone just meet up on a Friday night at the school, played fucking basketball for hours. Like, I don't know, would we play till like 9 o'clock, some shit, 10 o'clock?
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
fun.
It was that. It was that.
I'm looking at. I'm gonna look at a
I don't
picture of
remember
this
this
right
game
now.
though. I know my brain is a little watered out a
Oh
little bit. But
shit!
come on now.
Well, wow. That I could see why you thought it was scary.
Yeah, it's a spooky looking game. I was looking at it. I'm like, for its time, that was spurred me up.
Nightmare Creatures, huh?
Yeah, man.
Have you played it
Now, what
recently?
about?
Oh, they had a Nightmare
Huh?
Creatures too.
No, I haven't played it recently. Yeah, they did have a sequel to it. But what about I know I mentioned it to you I think the other day. Yesterday was Halloween on Atari.
You mentioned that they made one, and I was like, oh wow, I didn't know they made one. You know what? I gotta look up a picture of this just to get an idea. If anyone's watching at the same time, you want to do this too. So we're doing
I know.
Halloween for Atari.
Never played it, but I seen it. I watched it in like the Angry Video Game Nerd did an episode on it.
Oh
And they
my
had it
god!
where Michael Myers chases you through the house and everything, and then he decapitates you when he gets near you. If he hits you, he decapitates you, and there's blood spurting out of your neck.
Oh my god, the graphics of these things. We've moved so far into the future of gaming. But back when, super good.